What's up, everybody? Once again, my name is Matt, and welcome back to Let's Play Ocarina of Time 3D Master Quest. In the last episode, we got ourselves Epona from Lon Lon Ranch after winning her in a bet. Then we came here to the Forest Sacred Meadow in search of Saria, but she's not here, so instead, we're gonna check out this cool temple because that's way more important than meeting Saria. So, let's go inside and start the first adult temple of the game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Forest Temple. So obviously this temple is slightly different here in Master Quest, and oddly enough, again, I find this temple a little bit easier in Master Quest than in normal Ocarina of Time. I don't know why that is, it might just be me. Now, this first set of vines, that is a noob trap. If you try to climb up there, there are other, like, normal Skulltulas all over the place, and they probably will knock you off. They're kind of hard to avoid, so instead, just go over to the right and climb up these vines, because there's nothing over here, and you can safely just climb to the top like so. I've seen so many people try to, like, go around the Skulltulas, and it never really ends well, so just use those vines. It's a whole heck of a lot easier. And what just happened? Alright then, I targeted the normal Skulltula to kill it with my hookshot, but apparently it latched onto the vines and then knocked me back onto the tree. That was a little bit weird. Never had that happen before, so okay, Ocarina of Time, whatever you say, man, whatever you say. But yeah, just get rid of all those enemies, then head over to this log and step on that switch, and guess what? The chest is back where we just were. Thanks a lot, game. Don't worry though, because we can just use our hookshot to latch onto it and open it up to get the first small key of this temple and the entire game, I believe, because I'm fairly certain, like, none of the child dungeons have small keys in them. Like, those are introduced in the adult temples first, so pretty cool, man. Pretty exciting key to get. Now that we got that, though, let's get into the meat of this temple, shall we? Be very careful in this room because, yeah, they like to surprise you and put Skulltulas, like, every 2 inches, so just don't go charging in like some sort of hero. You might get hit. Before you leave the room, though, make sure you check in the upper right-hand corner and grab this golden Skulltula. I believe there are 5 of them in this temple, all of which we can actually get on our first run-through, so that's pretty dang nice. And now we are here in, like, the hub room of this temple, and we're gonna get introduced to the main gimmick. So, here it is. Basically, these 4 Poes have stolen the flames from those torches, and we need to go all around this temple and get the flames back. That way we can access the central elevator and go down to where the boss of the temple is located. So, yeah, there's quite a lot to do, and it might seem like there's several different directions that you can go in right now, but really, the only doors that are open to you are the one directly in front of you and the one off to the right, and you don't really want to go down the right door just yet, since you'll encounter a locked door eventually, and we need to find ourselves a small key first. So we're gonna go and grab that. Let's just pull out our ocarina and play the Song of Time real quick. That way we can get rid of this Song of Time block that is blocking our path. And you probably will be playing the Song of Time a lot in this temple because there's going to be blocks that we're going to need to move a little bit later on to sort of solve some puzzles and do a little bit of backtracking. There actually is quite a bit of backtracking in this temple for, like, its size, but I think we can alleviate some of that by using Faeror's Wind. At least I know you can, like, the normal version of this temple, and I think the trick still applies to Master Quest, so I will try and use that when I can. And hey, I think we're gonna be right on top of the chest. Hey, nice upskirt shot there, Link. Alright, so let's pop open this small chest and get ourselves another key. So, basically, we are done with this section of the dungeon already, or rather, the temple. I know, they're temples when you're an adult, and they're dungeons when you're a kid. I always, like, just mix and match those words all the time, and it triggers some of you guys in the comments, but I've literally been doing that since, like, the very beginning of my channel, so I really don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Plus, I mean, the words are kind of interchangeable anyways, like, they refer to this style of Zelda gameplay, so yeah, just know I'm gonna make that mistake more in the future. And I just totally walked through that Stalfos. Alright, perfect. yeah, these guys are pretty dangerous, not gonna lie. You're gonna want to be careful fighting them, especially in this hallway, because there's not a whole lot of room. Plus, sometimes they can just, like, attack you through your shield. So, honestly, your best bet is to try and, like, counterattack them or get behind them if you can. Also, if I had Deku Nuts, that would probably be a lot easier, but I forgot to equip them, so... oh well, what are you gonna do? Not exactly my best fight against the Stalfos, but we made it through alive. Now, before we do anything else in this room, let's head over to the right side because, yep, there is a golden Skulltula just hanging out right over here. So, now that we got that, we can start tackling the puzzle in here. And the puzzle in this room is drastically different than the one in normal Ocarina of Time, and maybe just a tad harder because on Master Quest, they really don't give you all the information that you need to solve the puzzle up front, so you kind of need to work for some extra information. There are arrows painted on the floor. Yes, thank you, Navi. And those arrows sort of indicate where these blocks need to go. Now, here's the catch. The game doesn't necessarily tell you this right up front, but there are 2 blocks per set of arrows, and only one of the blocks is actually needed to sort of solve, like, the puzzle related to each like set of arrows that are painted on the floor. I probably could have explained that a little bit better, but I think it'll become apparent as we sort of go here. So yeah, there was that first blue block, and the arrows were pointing down this section of the hallway. Now we're going to push this block down here, and this will actually complete the puzzle relating to the blue blocks that we need to push forward. So you can kind of see how there's like 2 blocks related to one section of arrows. Now, we could go up to the next, like, level, but we don't want to go up via the blocks just yet. Instead, head up using this ladder. Yeah, you probably missed that your first time through here, but this will take us to a section with red blocks. Now, we actually need to start by pulling this red block all the way back, because if we went up using the blue blocks, we would actually encounter another red block, and if you try to move it forward, it'll actually get stopped by that second red block that we just pushed backwards. So now that we moved that out of the way, we can finally go up these blue blocks and push the next red block forward. Hopefully, I explained that in a way that makes sense, because it is kind of confusing. Like, obviously, they designed it to confuse people, but if you just go around the room, gather all the information you need, then you should be able to solve this puzzle no problem. But getting that information is kind of difficult because, you know, it's hidden on different layers around different corners. You need to, like, move things back and forth to figure out where everything is. But yeah, after you get everything, you should be golden. Let's just hop up here and step on this switch to create sort of a little shortcut for ourselves that we can use to get back up here a little bit later on. Now, we're gonna head to the final layer. Yeah, it's actually a very, very tall room. And oh boy, we got some blue bubbles, I believe is what these guys are called. Thankfully, they do not curse you like they did in Majora's Mask, so really, if you touch them, not that big of a deal. You will take some damage, but it's not like you can't use your sword or other items. Alright, so now that those guys are gone, we do have a key, so we can actually unlock this door and keep exploring the rest of this temple. Now, normally this hallway would be twisted, but in Master Quest it actually starts out untwisted, and we need to go and twist it. But first things first, let's open up this large chest, and guess what? We're gonna get ourselves the boss key. Yeah, already we got ourselves the boss key. And I'll say this, the Forest Temple has a very odd sort of order of collection, if you will. Like, you start by getting the boss key, then you get like the item from the temple, then you get the compass, and then finally you get the map. So it's kind of backwards from like a normal temple, but I guess it doesn't really matter. And I am so glad that we just got magic, because I definitely needed that if I wanted to make use of Farore's Wind. So thank you very much, game. I appreciate it. And you know what? While we're here, might as well risk it for the biscuit and just go and collect these extra hearts to fill up our life bar. Although I will say this, at this point, since we do have like 10 hearts, I can kind of start playing like haphazardly again, since I really don't need to worry about dying all that much, like not nearly as much as I did back in the beginning of this game. Alright, so we got a re-dead. We could, like, sneak up on it, but why bother when we can just play the Sun Song and stun it in place. If for whatever reason you don't want to play the Sun Song, yeah, as long as, like, you're not running at full speed, you can, like, sneak up behind them and attack them that way, too, if you want to, but I really don't know too many people who prefer to do it that way over just, like, playing the Sun Song, because there's really no benefit to doing it one way or the other. Alright, so we got ourselves another small key, which is fantastic, because we're going to be using that in just a little bit. But I guess we can head through here next, and this is going to take us back into that weird puzzle room, but now we're on this side of, like, these weird ice crystal blocks, and of course if we hit that switch it'll remove them, and also twist up that hallway. So, now we can actually make use of that shortcut that we made earlier on, and sort of make our way back to the top of this room. That way we can go down the twisted hallway and get ourselves into a new section of the dungeon. I'm pretty sure there's another target that I can hook onto somewhere around here. Like, I know for a fact there's two of them, but I can't remember exactly where it is. Ah, yes, there it is. I think I'm too far away to hit it from over here now, aren't I? Can I hit it from here? No, I can't. Alright, I guess I have to, like, hit it from this platform, which is kind of weird, because now I'm at a little bit of a weird angle. I'm not sure how this is gonna work. Alright, we made it up. Thank goodness I didn't fall back down. That would have made me a very, very sad person. Oh, and by the way, like, before I forget, so the room that, like, is connected to the twisty hallway, there is actually a floor master in that room. I didn't mention it before because we kind of just, like, ran through there, but yeah, we saw a wall master already. Inside that room is a floor master, and of course, if they grab you, they will bring you back to, like, the entrance of the temple, so you're gonna want to avoid getting grabbed by them, but as long as, like, you move quick enough through the room, you should be fine. Yeah, Navi's actually going to tell us now to watch out for the shadows of the monsters hanging from the ceiling. But like I said, as long as, like, you move quickly through the room, like, you know where you're going, you should be able to avoid them. Plus, like, you can see when they're going to come down and easily avoid them that way, and then you can attack them, which I think gets rid of them for a decent amount of time, but I'm pretty sure they do come back. Anyways, not much we can do in this room right now, so let's move on to, oh man, this area. So yeah, we're going to have to fight some more Stalfos. Let's try using the Deku Nuts and see how well we fare using those. I normally don't use Deku Nuts, but I guess I can try them out. Apparently, I cannot stun them through their shield, which I guess makes sense. But then, like, why even bother using them? Because, you know, when they have their shield down, I could just attack them with my sword. I guess the Deku Nuts make it slightly safer, but probably not by much, honestly. Anyways, now here's the hard part. So now we gotta fight two of these guys at the same time, and you're gonna want to defeat them both fairly quickly, because here's the thing. If you defeat one of them, like, super quickly, but then take a really long time with the second one, the first Stalfos will come back to life. So you could try and, like, juggle the damage between them, but honestly, I find that, like, focusing on one at a time is still the better way to go about it. Now we just gotta make sure we kill this guy quick enough that the first guy doesn't come back to life. They give you a lot of time though, and wow, this guy is literally just making it easy for me. Holy cow, not even bad. Alright, so now those guys are gone, guess what? We got ourselves another large chest, and you know what that means? It's time to get something good. So inside this chest, we're actually going to get the item from the temple, which is the fairy bow. And of course, the bow being one of my favorite items in, like, any Zelda game. So really, really glad that we got this, and we'll be using it a lot throughout the rest of the temple, which I think we're going to save for the next episode. So if you guys enjoyed this part, a like rating would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more, consider subscribing. But once again, guys, my name is Matt. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.